Welcome to the Wishing You Well podcast. I'm Maria Patrick, your guide to wellness, balance, and living your healthiest, longest, strongest life. Today we're going to talk about a topic that affects many of us, especially if you love staying up late. We're going to talk about the health risks of being a night owl. If you've ever found yourself scrolling your phone at midnight or thinking, I just work better at night, this episode is for you. We're going to explore what science says about staying up late, the hidden health risks, and some practical ways for you to reset your internal clock without feeling miserable. First, let's begin by defining what we mean by night owl. A night owl is someone whose natural sleep-wake pattern is delayed compared to the average population. I used to be a night owl. What this means is that you feel most awake and alert in the late evening, and you sometimes end up staying up beyond midnight, even until 2, 3, or 4 a.m. And then, of course, it's a struggle to wake up early in the morning. This isn't just a personality trait. It's also linked to your chronotype, which is your body's internal biological clock. Genetics, age, and your environment all play a role. So while being a night owl can feel productive, and that is certainly how I used to feel when I kept those kind of hours, research shows that when you consistently stay up late, you can end up having real health consequences. And that's much more beyond just feeling tired in the morning. So let's dive into the science. There's health risks of being a night owl. Studies have consistently shown that night owls are at a higher risk for a variety of health issues when you compare your health to that of an early bird. The first is the basic sleep deprivation. Night owls often have trouble getting enough sleep because their schedule conflicts with that of societal norms. Your work schedule or your school schedule or even your social obligations. And chronic sleep deprivation can lead to some terrible things, including cognitive decline, memory problems, and mood disorders. It also reduces your body's ability to repair itself, to repair the cells and the tissues. That happens on the overnight shift. Staying up late disrupts your circadian rhythm, and that is the natural cycle that's going to regulate your hormones, your appetite, and your metabolism. So therefore, if you're a night owl, you're more likely to have metabolic and weight issues because you may experience insulin resistance, weight gain, and an even higher risk of type 2 diabetes. Night owls can have mental health challenges because they've been found to experience higher rates of depression and anxiety. And one theory behind this is that irregular sleep patterns affect the neurotransmitters within us like serotonin and dopamine, and those are key to regulating our mood. Research also suggests that late sleepers, people who are night owls, can have greater risk to their cardiovascular health, meaning higher rates of heart disease, elevated blood pressure. And this is because when our circadian rhythms are disrupted, our stress hormones like cortisol are negatively influenced and impacted, and that over time can put a strain on your heart. There's some large-scale studies that indicate that night owls may actually have shorter lifespans compared to early risers. That is largely due because you're going to have this compounded effect of everything that I've already mentioned: the chronic sleep deprivation, metabolic problems, and cardiovascular risks. So I know what this feels like to hear this. It can be quite alarming, particularly if you operate the way I used to, that I had a kind of I'll sleep when I'm dead mentality, or I felt that the person who's the most productive, who gets the most done in a day is the one that's going to win the big prize. It's important to remember that being a night owl doesn't doom you, but the goal here is for us to understand the risks so that we can take steps to protect our health and still honor our natural tendencies. So for me, it involved a gradual change from being a night owl to someone who goes to bed at a much more reasonable time. So let's talk about why night owls face these additional health risks. It mostly comes down to the misalignment of the circadian rhythm, because the body really does thrive on regularity. So many aspects of our health and wellness want us to be and need us to be regular. Our hormones, our digestion, even our immune systems, they all follow a daily rhythm. So when you go to bed late and wake up late, your schedule often conflicts with work hours, normal work hours, social norms, and it most definitely will conflict with natural daylight hours. So that misalignment becomes very stressful for the body. And what does stress do? It increases your overall inflammation. And that's linked to almost every chronic disease, not just the ones mentioned here today, but every chronic disease that's out there. Lifestyle factors also play a role because night owls often eat later, they often skip breakfast, they often get less morning sunlight, all of which are important for both our metabolism and our mood. So if you identify as a night owl, don't panic. Remember, I am a recovering night owl. There are ways that you can support your health and at the same time minimize your risks to declining health. And I'm going to break them down for you now, 5 of them. And I am proof that this can be done. Number 1, adjust your sleep, but do it gradual. Gradual sleep adjustments means moving your bedtime earlier, moving it up by 15 to 30 minutes each night. Your body adjusts more easily in small increments than all of a sudden saying to yourself, Maria Patrick, health coach, told me that I need to go to bed 3 hours earlier. Try a little bit at a time. Number 2, morning sunlight exposure. This made a big difference for me. Sunlight in the morning helps reset your circadian clock. You don't need that much time. Just 5, 10, 15 minutes of sunlight within an hour of waking up can make a big difference. I understand you may be waking up and leaving your home in the dark. If that's the case, try to when you get wherever you're going to be able to have those 5 minutes of daylight. And as I mentioned in at least one previous podcast episode, take your sunglasses off when you do that, when you have that morning sunlight exposure. Number 3, we need to implement or adopt a consistent sleep schedule. And this is a tough one if you look forward to the weekends where you think you're going to sleep an extra 3, 4, 5 or more hours on a Saturday or a Sunday or whatever the weekend is for you. Even on weekends, in order to reset your clock, in order to get a consistent sleep schedule, you need to aim to wake up at roughly the same time every day. Irregular sleep worsens the misalignment and it will end up increasing your fatigue. We think we're playing catch up on the weekends, but it really does continue to play with us and mess with us. Number 4 is to work on your nutrition timing. You're going to want to avoid heavy meals late at night. I think there's so many reasons to avoid heavy meals late at night, and I probably should be the topic of a future podcast. Try to have your last meal 2 to 3 hours before bed. This is going to help your metabolism. It's going to help your digestion. It's going to help improve your sleep quality. It takes energy to digest your food. So if you're eating late and then hoping to get a decent night's sleep, your body is still digesting and the energy is going towards that instead of towards deep restorative sleep. Number 5, I've already alluded to this in today and in other podcasts, the importance to limit late night screen time. This is a hard one for a lot of us. But our phones and tablets and computers, iPads, laptops, they all emit blue light. And blue light tells your brain that it's daytime. And that's going to make it harder to fall asleep. So there are solutions to this. It's become a bigger problem for people, and therefore it's easier to find a solution because now you can find blue light filters, and some of them are even built into the newer iPhones and maybe other phones as well, and the other than an Apple product. And you can get yourself blue light filtering glasses. And of course, the best solution of all is to shut your screens off at least 30 to 60 minutes before your bedtime. What you'll notice, which is what I noticed, is that by even making a few of these adjustments, night owls can reduce your health risks without giving up your natural tendencies. So remember that this is a gentle shift, at least to start. The goal isn't to force yourself into an extreme early bird schedule, or to feel like you have to eat at the senior citizens hour of 4 p.m. That's not what I'm suggesting. Even a small shift paired with other healthy habits can help you to improve your sleep quality, boost up your energy, and lead to long-term health. Think of it as harmonizing with your body's natural rhythms rather than fighting them. So to wrap it up, being a night owl does come with hidden health risks, from sleep deprivation and mood disorders to metabolic and cardiovascular issues. But when we understand these risks, we give ourselves power, the power to take practical steps like adjusting your sleep schedule, getting more morning light, eating mindfully and earlier than late night, and limiting late night screen time. What we'll be doing in making these small, slight adjustments is protecting your health while still honoring your natural rhythm. If you enjoyed today's episode and found it helpful, and I certainly hope that you did, please consider subscribing to the Wishing You Well podcast on Spotify, YouTube, or Apple Podcasts, and share it with a friend who stays up late. They might just thank you later. Thank you so much for tuning in today and listening and following along with me on the way that we can change our ways from being a night owl. Just remember that small shifts in your daily habits can create big changes in your health and well-being. I hope you stay well. I hope you sleep well. And until next time, I am wishing you well.